So over the past couple of days, I've been working on this sort of security camera proof of concept with a Raspberry Pi. And the main gimmick is that it can use a machine learning model to detect the faces within the picture and see who they are, basically. So I'll be demonstrating that for you right now. So here you can see like the security camera at work. Obviously, it's not fully live, which is a problem. We'll talk about it. But you can see that it detects my face and then it detects my brother's right here. Raghov, right? And just to show you how the code looks, if we go to IDE right here, you can see it actually sends back a JSON from a server. Sorry, okay, it sends a JSON from a server. These pictures are being sent from a camera to a server right here, and then every single time it's sent to the server, it's making a little prediction here. You can see the values, the predictions, just how likely it is to be someone here, like 0.58. That's the highest probability here, so it detects that it's me. But yeah, that is just, the code in action. I'll explain in more detail right now. And yeah, quick side note, this also sends data to Firebase right here. So you can see that every single time it detects a face, it's actually loading an image. See that new image just came in because it detected my face. So in here you can see that it gives you the actual image. So in Base64, and then it also says who it detects it to be. So it detects it to be me, Raghav, right? Right, so now I'll just give you a quick rundown on how this works. We have this hardware code right here. And in this code, you can see I've set up a CV2 to capture images. Now, the first thing that happens is it takes a list of images, and then we use this thing called a hard cascade, which we have right here. And what that does is it basically just detects the shape of a face, and then it uses that to sort of highlight an area of text, not a text, image, an area of the image that has like the face in it. So you can see that's what that does here. We set a faces thing to find faces. And then within this, we use that to draw like a box around the face, which is what you saw in the code. And then we write that image and add it to a list of images, like paths and everything. Then we go to this convert to 64, where every single image path that was just in our list is turned into like, oh, that was, yeah. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so all the images are converted to base64 encoded versions of themselves. And that way we can actually send it over a server. So that's actually what's happening here in this while true loop. It actually gets the encoded images and each of their paths, and then it sends this to the server that I've made using Flask and ngrok, and you'll see that in a second, but that's all I need to see for now. You can see it sends a JSON of the image, the time it was taken, and all the paths of each image that is taken. So if I were to go to like my files, documents, yeah, you can see that at one point it detected 3 of these images, so it was saving it and then sending it over a server through base64. And then I have this server that I made using Flask. You can see I've imported a lot of other stuff, but the main idea is once I start my server, I process each image that's being taken from the camera that I have, and then I use that and I actually I predict who the person is in the image using a model that I made, and you can actually see that right here. I use this thing called VGGFace, which is a pre-trained sort of model with a bunch of faces, and it's easier to train it this way instead of having to like train your own CNN model, because with VGGFace it already recognizes a lot of the features of a human face, so you don't actually need as much data, or you don't need as much training time in order to accurately find other faces. So with this thing called transfer learning, that's the technique used here, I was actually able to just take 100 pictures of me and some of my family and friends. You can see this is my brother. You saw him earlier. So I have 100 pictures of him, and then 100 pictures of my mom, dad, me, and one of my friends here. And then using that, I was just able to train a model that can, pretty accurately predict. I've found it to be about 95% of the time accuracy. So I have all this here. We save it as an H5 model. And then once I go into like my server, I can actually predict each image that's being sent to the server, and then I can, send it back. I can send this predictions JSON that I make. For each image that comes to me, I just send that entire JSON back, and then it uses that. And if I go over here, it actually takes each prediction that comes back from the response, and then it adds that to the square, the box that we made in our what's it called, our security camera feed. So you could actually see like who the person is inside the camera and all that. Now the next steps for this would be probably I want to make the model a little bit more accurate, because there are times when it doesn't recognize someone like my brother or like my friend, and in those 95% or 5% accuracy test cases, it's gonna either say it's an unknown person, or it's gonna say that this person is someone he's not. So that's not good. My whole point of starting the Firebase thing and adding all the data to there is that I want to be able to access each image and then create sort of a user interface for whoever has the security camera to sort of look at all the images that were taken of each person over a set amount of time, and then just be able to confirm that this is this person or this is that person. And so with that, I can actually, add to my training data set of all the model stuff, VHG face and all that. And using all those images, I can make the actual model more accurate. So that was one thing I wanted to do. And then the other thing is, this does run really slow. Like, it is a proof of concept, but even still, it's not very live security camera feed. So I've been thinking about migrating this application from Flask to a server I can run directly off my my Raspberry Pi. So for that, I need Apache, need to learn PHP and all that stuff. But other than that, I think what I have right now is pretty cool, and I think it has a lot of applications. So I'll be playing around with it in the future, and if I do, you guys will be the first to know. So yeah, that's it for today.